there are some myths about who's supposed to practice yoga.
We should not do yoga at night. Is that true? And if it's true, why?
None of the rules are true.
Okay, hi guys. Today I'm so happy to welcome our guest again, Svetlana, to our podcast, Yoga Isn't That Hard, episode number 5. So Svetlana has been on our podcast before, but today she comes back and talk to us about yoga and what not to do. We will debunk some myths in yoga with Svetlana. So I will let Svetlana introduce about herself a little bit to our audience today again. And the podcast today is brought to you by the Warrior 2 brand dedicated to yoga and wellness. You can find a range of our yoga bags on Amazon US as well as Canada and Australia. Also, you can find our products on our website as well at thewarrior2.com. We make your yoga journey more enjoyable with high quality durable yoga bags with intuitive designs that focus on user experience. And just tell me a little bit about your yoga journey and how you came to India and studying yoga philosophy, and you are in Bali right now, right?
Yeah, this is true. Hi, beautiful audience. It's so nice to seeing you again on the podcast. I'm really happy to participate again and happy to introduce myself to listeners who are for the first time here. My name is Svetlana. I based in Indonesia and currently I stay here in Bali. I'm teaching yoga worldwide and I do have an experience over 10 years of practicing, being a student, being a practitioner of breathwork, meditation, kundalini yoga practice, and the rest of the varieties of the ways of yoga as hatha, vinyasa. And I have been studying yoga philosophy, yoga anatomy, yoga therapy in Rishikesh in India. So currently I just came back from there and I'm teaching internationally worldwide through online and also here in Bali.
That's wonderful. So I in Melbourne, Australia, and this is in the middle of the winter. It's very cold over here and I'm a little bit jealous with you over there. It's summer, right?
Actually, it is also winter in Bali, but winter here is quite different with Australia, I believe, because it's now about 25 degrees every day and supposed to be the dry season, but we do have rains almost every day, like a little bit, but it's still here. So the season in this year, it's probably kind of different comparing to another ones like the previous years.
I didn't know about that. If it's winter and 25 degrees, it would be like amazing over here. Yeah, so let's not waste any more time and we will delve in a number of very interesting questions about what we normally misunderstand about yoga and whether if they are true or not. So the first question is, who should not do yoga exercise?
This is an interesting question before you start to practicing yoga properly, especially for beginners, because sometimes there are some myths about who's supposed to practice yoga, advanced or beginners or practitioners who never was even introduced to yoga. So I would suggest that if you do have any injuries, if you are after a very extreme or serious surgeries, the women after having any problems throughout the body as problems with the period times or an exact period times, there is the possibility to just keep attention throughout the body on sensations and avoid some very intense practices. For those who are experiencing the problems throughout the body with kind of traumas or anything else, there are always exist the proper ways of yoga therapy. But instead of that, I would suggest to properly scan the body before you're practicing to diagnose yourself and switch to the proper practice.
So basically, apart from people who have some special conditions like you have described, most of us are suitable for yoga exercise, right?
This is true. With the proper adjustment, with the proper teaching, most people are very open for the yoga practice. There is in Himalayan tradition of yoga, in very ancient tradition, there was not a myth, but a kind of phrase about the yoga is only for healthy people. This is kind of true. some point, because before you start yoga, you have to be very aware about of the condition throughout the body with the connection in between of mind and the body stage. And if you're feeling okay, if you do not have any restrictions, you are pretty able to practice either you're a kid or an adult.
And the second question is that what are the biggest mistakes people make while doing yoga?
Those are several mistakes, as avoiding the proper adjustment from the teacher. So have to be really paying attention to when the teacher are saying, guys, could you please properly feel your body, following your sensations more, and then people starting to follow an ego in the first place and comparing themselves. For example, if the beginner is coming to the practice and if the person stays at the end of the class and see the advanced practitioners in front of him or her, doesn't matter, and she starts or him starts to thinking, oh, the teacher is saying the asana is that simple, but I'm a beginner, I cannot really follow the proper adjustment of teacher, and just trying to reach the stage which is not available for my body still. So this is very important to come back to the sensations of the body and to follow the proper adjustment, to follow the sensations of if I do feel pain, if I do struggle a lot with the posture, just let yourself rest for a little bit, reduce your expectations from yourself and also from the teacher, from other people, and do not push yourself. Just be very gentle, careful about your body and mind.
Whenever they trying to do a pose, and I think that it's easy to understand, but also easy to see that people normally feel like, okay, I want to do this pose, it looks beautiful, when they see a photo of the yoga teacher doing that pose on the internet, and they really want to reach to that level, and they forget about their body probably is not ready for that yet. Yeah, so totally agree with that. And the next question is that it's very interesting. So when should you not do yoga?
You should not do yoga. I would say in another way, you should avoid practicing yoga before you properly set yourself for the practice, before you got a proper balance in between of the mind and between the body. So this is very tiny adjustment inside when you do have a task to find the psycho and soma, and pretty aware, be there for your body and a mental stage. So before you start to practice, or whenever you go to the yoga mat and you feel like I'm not ready to do an exact asana, there is the way for you to firstly sit in a proper position with a straight spine, send your attention to the top of the head, properly scan your body from the top of the head to your toes, from your toes back to your top of the head. Maybe stay for a second in the middle of eyebrows and feel yourself, make your mind balanced. So then, whenever you felt bad, whenever you felt you're not ready for it, you will properly feel the actual present condition of yours, and you will understand, are you suitable for practice or not? So before you start the yoga practice, please meditate. Please make a tiny, slight breath work to understand yourself better. And there will be no restriction. You will just flow throughout the practice with your body needs instead of your ego needs.
That's very helpful to know about that. So we will go to the next question. Why shouldn't I shower after yoga?
All right. Sometimes I also hearing that from yoga practitioners or from yoga teachers in the classes. They recommend, hey, can you please do not shower, avoid showering for at least 20-30 minutes. So there is an ancient way of explanation as well, because when you are practicing, you're naturally building your ushna, which is warmth throughout the body. And if we stick to explanation of the ancient rules, there is natural the pranic body, which is ether body appearing, which is naturally always exist here and there, and we just not very able to feel that because it's very tiny, slight, energetic body. Whenever we're practicing, it gets heat, and it's very important to naturally let it cool down after the practice. And also in a natural modern way of explanation, I would not recommend to showering also maybe in between of 20-40 minutes at least after you stop practicing, because there is naturally the body gets very warmed up, it heats a lot, and then you just have to reduce the level of the hot energy, the hot sensation in your body to help your system cool down naturally, but not purposely by showering.
So as what you said, we should not shower before yoga as well.
I would recommend just to come to the yoga class properly as it is, as your body is, do not for the hygienic purposes. Of course, this is possible even to sweep or just help your body not feeling very disturbed by sweat until you practice. But just for the reason of health, for the reason of following the proper natural heating and cooling process, I would recommend just to have a little pause after your practice.
So we should basically give it some time after or before a yoga practice. And another question is why we should not eat immediately after yoga.
There is a good question. The yoga is bringing the natural heat throughout the practice, so the body starts to flowing with the blood circulation, with the energy as well. We are helping the blood going from bottom to top throughout our lymphatic system, and it helps body to work on detoxification. It helps us to bring all the toxins on top, on the surface of our skin, which is helping to cleanse our body. So when you straight away immediately put any food inside the body right after the practice, it's not very helpful for your entire system. Be focused on the processes we just initiated. You just rest for, I would say, from 30 minutes to 1.5 hour rest, to let your body just naturally calm down and to prepare your digestion system to work properly as well, to keep the whole entire attention on digest but not detoxification.
That's amazing to know about that. What I imagine is that when we enter into a yoga session, it's like we activate the energy flow. Of course, it's positive energy flow inside our body. And after that, as what I understood from what you said, is that let our body finish the cycle.
That's right.
Yeah, all of the activations in our body to finish all of those processes and let our stomach ready for, getting some food in, instead of, having food straight away after a yoga exercise. Okay. Actually, this question, I believe that you have mentioned in your answer before. It's about how long should I wait to eat after yoga?
That's right. This is not a strict rule about how long it's supposed to be, because it's up to condition of the body. Each person, sometimes the person is very thin and slim, and or for example, it's an adult or a kid comparing, it's impossible to compare. So I would suggest balanced amount of time. It's in between of 30 minutes and in between of 1.5 hours. So it's the perfect timing of letting your body rest before you're getting food.
Amazing. Okay, we are pretty clear about this for now. And the next question is not about eating, but it's about drinking. So why should you not drink water after yoga? These are the questions that people normally have. They assume that why should not we drink water after yoga? But is that true? Should we drink, or it doesn't matter we drink water after yoga or not? Please help us clarify and shed some light on this.
So sometimes in the class, it is possible to see some practitioners do have the water bottle around their yoga mat, and this is completely okay if people feel like they have to stay hydrated, they have a dry throat, they do have a struggling throughout the practice. So the basic goal of yoga is to still listening to your body and to listening if you do have a body need to get more hydrating. It's perfectly okay to drink water even throughout the practice, even after the practice. But just please note attentively that it's not a goal to fulfill the body, because it it's going to make the body heavy, and again it's going to switch the reason of working, not on the detoxification, not on the practice, but to digest the water we just got. So I would clearly suggest to make a sipping, like make the sip of water one by one, maybe from 1 to 11 sips, it's enough throughout the practice, or when you just finish your practice.
Okay, so as I understood is that even if we take some water during a yoga practice, we just probably do it gently, like by doing a small sip one at a time, and don't try to drink a lot and a big amount and at a very high intensity of water coming to our body. And yeah, thank you for sharing with us. That's very interesting insight about drinking water. Okay, so we have another question about why shouldn't I shower after yoga? So we did touched on this topic about basically let your body rest and finish whatever processes that you have activated during a yoga exercise, and instead of going straight to the shower room, probably just wait a little bit after yoga, and then you can have a shower. And another question, probably this is the last question of the episode today, is that why should we not do yoga at night? Again, this is a question from people who assume that we should not do yoga at night, and then they have a question of why shouldn't we do that? But is that true? Is that we should not do yoga at night? That is the first question. And if it's true, why?
For the doing the yoga at night, it's also not a strict rule about should I practice or not, as there is none of the rules are true, extremely true, or extremely false. So there is always the possibility to compare your body needs with the surrounding conditions. So for example, if your style, the lifestyle is working throughout the day and you're fine with going sleep in an early night, or keeping your body connected with these cycles of sleeping and awakening, and it's completely fine that you also even be able to practice a little even before you sleep in your bed. So yoga is naturally could be very helpful sometimes to get proper sleep, to get a nice sleep, to get a healthy sleep, unless you make it a very intense right before you're going to bed. For example, if your own lifestyle is going to bed before 10 and you extremely hard starts to practice 5 minutes before 10 and then you're going to bed, for sure you will get your sleep disturbed. And the suggestion to it is just to avoiding very extreme practice in the nighttime, very intense practice, to not disturbing your natural flow of the sleep and awakening processes in your body. So if you do have an anxiety, or for example, if you do have an insomnia and your goal is to have a proper sleep, healthy sleep, or a healthy dream, you just naturally lay down in bed right before you get into sleep. It's like about 5-10 minutes before, and it's completely okay to do a simple yoga practice right in your bed with your butterfly pose, with the opening hips, slightly opening hips. Or it's naturally okay to do the cat-cow poses, to stretch your body a little bit, to prepare your body naturally, to let your body naturally prepare for the upcoming rest. And you can also do the forward bending, to stretch your spine, to stretch your leg in a very gentle way, to take care of the body. And then after that, even cobra position, it's fine. Even a little slight upward dog position is fine in your bed. And then you just naturally lay down in Shavasana posture. And with the breath practice, with the breath work, for example, you can use the square breathing, which is very helpful after this slightly gentle yoga, to fulfill your body with a relaxation and to help it calm down, preparing yourself for the good sleep. So yoga could be really helpful for sleep Otherwise, it could be disturbing if you practice very intensely. So it's also about the inner awareness at the first place.
Thank you for being with us today in our episode, and I hope that we will have you soon back on our podcast very soon. Thank you, Svetlana, and hope you have a great day in Bali. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Have a great day too. I'm very happy to be here today.